Good evening, everybody. This is the April 19th, 2023 meeting of the Oyster River Cooperative School District Board. And for first order of business is the approval of the agenda. I do have two changes. One is we need to put as a possible approval for an acceptance of a scholarship. So I'd like to add that to the agenda. And the second item is that we were scheduled to have a workshop on DEIJ from Rachel Blancett at the conclusion of the regular board meeting, and unfortunately that will have to be rescheduled. So with those two changes, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve as amended.
Okay, Matt and Tom, second. All in favor? And we have 7 in favor, and the student rep is in favor.
Denise, where are we putting your
Oh,
addition? You gotta
good
put that- you
point.
gotta make-
As a discussion item. Thank you, Brian, for that clarification. So it'll go under discussion. All right, next on the agenda, public comments. Is there anyone here to speak tonight? All right, not appear that there is anyone here. Announcements, accommodation, approval of minutes. I'm skipping ahead. So we need to approve the minutes for the April 5th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. Can I have a motion? Heather?
I'll motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from April 5th, 2023.
And a second? Dan? Okay, are there any changes? Tom?
On page 3, I would like my comments, the comments I made around the survey, the middle school survey, to read as follows. Tom Newkirk noted that the survey did not pose a basic question of interest to the board. Does the current reporting system give you a clear sense of your child's progress? In particular, he suggested asking parents if terms used to indicate progress, for example, progressing, are clear to them since they are central in the reporting system. So I'd like that to be my summary of my comments.
Okay. Any other changes?
On section 4, my name is misspelled. It's a single N, so that needs to be corrected. Another spelling error in superintendent report on B, Oyen is O-Y-E-N. It should be spelled O-E-Y-E-N. And under the section 6, I'd also like to add a sentence to the description regarding the survey with Jay, to say at the end of the paragraph that starts with my name, with Gianna, to have the sentence, there was some discussion of the low parent guardian participation rate on the survey and its effect on the results. Let's see. I think it is on page 3 as well.
Did you get all those changes? Tom emailed his in, and so did Denise.
I can do the same if you wish. Okay, I'll do that.
I appreciate it.
Any other changes? I did have one very small change on page 4 under the Conval lawsuit. It said that April 10th, Dr. Morse would testify. It's actually April 10th is when the trial starts or started. So just that minor change. All right, with those changes, all in favor? And we have 7 in favor and the student rep in favor. The minutes are approved. Announcements, accommodations, and comments from the district. None tonight? All right, we're moving right along. How about from the board? Brian?
I know we had discussed it briefly in the last meeting as far as public comments being open for 30 minutes. That also has to include regular meetings as well. So I think we probably should make a note at the beginning when we say public comment, we will leave it open. So if somebody comes in late and they want to say something, or you can allow 15 on each side because we have 2. But I think we have to make note of that just to be compliant of the new law as far as having 30 minutes of public hearing. And that's for every meeting that we have any public participation, including a public hearing.
It is noted on the agenda that the total allotted time for public comments is 30 minutes, but perhaps we should add a word such as open,
We'll be open for 30 minutes or
Yeah,
something
open
along
for
that line.
30
And that-
minutes, so we can
And
make
that goes
that
through everything
change.
too, including the deliberative session. I know last year our deliberative session was just shy of 30 minutes. And I think we have to make sure when we get to that point that we have to be at 30 minutes. I just hate to have that come back and bite us.
okay, all right. Do we need to motion for a change on that agenda wording, or?
This agenda is part of your bylaws, so if Brian wants to make that as a motion, somebody second it, then we can change it.
I'll make a motion to add wording to the public comments, that public comments will be open for 30 minutes, up to 30 minutes.
Okay, second from Matt. Any further discussion? All in favor? And we have 7 in favor, and the student rep is in favor. Any other board comments? I would just say that I saw both of the elementary school plays. Mohammed did Alice in Wonderland, and Mastway did, oh my goodness, help me out. Annie, thank you. It was awesome. I just had for a second, I just couldn't remember what it was. I just saw it Monday night. But both plays were excellent, and congratulations to everyone who was involved in that. Okay. District reports, Assistant Superintendent.
Good evening. In your packet, you'll see a memo that I shared with you in regards to the 5 professional teacher workshop days or professional learning days for faculty. It begins on June 20th and goes to June 23rd, and then we had talked about having an asynchronous professional day for the 5th day. So the memo outlines some of the conversations that I've been engaged with the principals and with the Teachers Guild to figure out exactly how we could use those days. So we have, and the digital learning specialists as well for the asynchronous day. So we're going to really focus on curriculum on those days. There will be faculty meetings. Each principal has identified that they all would like to have faculty meetings during that time period. We've identified district-wide crisis prevention institute training, the CPI training, which I discussed a little bit there what that is. That's some training that we feel is really necessary for all educators and administrators and anyone working with students. The full training is a 6-hour training, but we're really looking at doing half of that training. So it would be a 3-hour training at the end of this year, and then we're working with Catherine and our CPI trainers who are in-house. We have people in-house that can do that training. Working with them, we'll identify who should engage in the second half of the training, the other 3-hour training, which is a little bit different. It's more targeted for typically special education, tutors, and other people. So that will happen on the 4 days. We will have Jen visiting the buildings and doing about 45 minutes to an hour with faculty about best practices in communication and talking a little bit about the website and giving the faculty a sneak peek at it, actually, so that they haven't been engaged in all of the conversations as leadership has, and so it'll be a nice introduction for them to see that. And then we will have vertical transition meetings. That's something that typically happens in May, on that May Teacher Workshop Day, and so we're missing that May Teacher Workshop Day. We want to make sure that teachers have an opportunity to speak vertically about the movement of students, K through 12. And then there's some curriculum work that we were intending on doing over the summer that we felt we could do during that time period, some vertical work on scope and sequence. And so that's outlined here also, what that would look like. And as far as that includes the Eureka Math training, which is K through 5, but it also looks at something like the school counseling scope and sequence for college and career readiness and SEL, and that's more K through 12. So it depends on what area we're looking at in the curriculum, who would be sitting around the table and what they would be engaging in. And again, that's work that I've been doing with the principals to identify what makes the most sense for those 4 days. It looks like it's a lot, but when you break it down, there is absolutely time in here in the 4 days for faculty to meet at the building level and to do building level work. So we feel very confident in being able to complete a lot of this work and to give faculty the time that they need to be able to end the year and get ready for the next year. The asynchronous day, we have a few ideas. I've been working with digital learning specialists on how to manage it and make it easy, in a sense, to track or, for engagement. And this would need to be completed by August 24th, because that would be, August 25th is the start of the new contract. So we're looking at having classes on Schoology and utilizing our learning management system. And we would be we have options that we've been talking about. We could either give the faculty one of all of these options, or we could choose if there's interest. So policy review and signing off on policies is something we actually spend a lot of time with at the beginning of the year. And there's been a lot of conversation about how can we just do that over the summer. And so the digital learning, Janet Martell said, I can create an interactive way to do this on Schoology. So she's been dabbling in that a little bit to get a feel for what that would look like. And then we have some other ideas, a district book read, again, utilizing Schoology. And then also AI has been a part of conversations throughout the district, K through 12, about, what does AI mean in education? And so we thought we could create a class around that as well. So that's where we are with the planning as far as what the days look like and the structure of the day. We're not there yet. This is where we're at. So we will eventually get to a point where we have schedules and agendas for every single day. Yeah, Brian.
The CPI training, shall I assume that whoever completes both parts of that will be certified
Yeah.
in CPI?
They'll be certified, but they won't be certified to train, but they will be certified,
Right,
yes.
right, yes,
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Remind me again where we are on the scope and sequence rotation, because science still has outstanding work from last year to
Yes, so-
finish up. Health PE finished up last year.
Health finished,
Okay,
world language finished.
that's right.
So world language needs to review and revisit it, and and there's some pieces to that they want to keep, they need to look at it again. Science is going to do the work. We thought about doing the work. We're talking about possibly doing it on this day, but a lot of the science, it makes it hard because there are a lot of K-5 teachers that will be in the math training that would benefit from participating in the science. So we may pause the science work and do that during the summertime.
And then what's on this year's rotation? That was last year, so what's on
Yeah,
this year's
so this
rotation?
summer is reviewing science work, reviewing the world language work, which we will do on this day, the K-12 counseling, which we're gonna do during this time period. And then we're gonna start during this time period, and then social studies. In social studies, we've decided to wait till the summertime to do, and so that's part of the summer work that I've sent out to faculty, a survey right now to get an idea of interest of what it is they would like to do in the summertime, and those are on that survey. Tom?
This may be just background that I need. You have 5 professional days now at the end of the year. My understanding is one of them has been added because of May 16th was turned into a student day, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The teacher
I'm
workshop day.
just in a normal schedule, do you normally have like 4 professional days, or is that, it seems backloaded to me in terms of professional days so much at the end of the year. Is that normal? Is that?
No, we usually don't have any at the end of the year. It's just because of the way the snow days worked out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Heather?
So I know we added more funds for professional development this year. Because of the 4 days, are we getting to do even more now?
Yes. Yes. I'm very excited about that. It's a dreamy for me.
Any other questions? All right, it sounds like a, oops,
Sorry,
oh, go
I
ahead.
got
That's fine, go ahead.
I'm really interested in what Janet and the tech integrators come up with the AI in education course, navigating Chat GPT, I never say that right, is something that we've been dealing with professionally. Like my company's like, oh, for the love of God, don't put this in front of clients. But then I got an email from the New Hampshire School Administrators Association, which had that you guys forwarded to us, that had in the first paragraph, Chat GPT summarizes this bill as bleh. And like, it's here, we're using it, we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what they're gonna come up with.
Yeah.
And just before Suzanne leaves the podium, obviously, you know, Denise noted this at the last meeting, there's a lot of work that goes into organizing professional development days, a lot of people to meet, teachers and administrators. And, you know, I really also want to commend Janet and Sarah for their willingness to use technology on the asynchronous day. I think that is going to be a wonderful opportunity for our teachers to flex in and flex out as they have time to do it. So I wanted to commend Suzanne. I also wanted to commend Janet for the work that you're seeing tonight.
Thank you very much. Superintendent's report.
I do want to echo Denise. The musicals, the elementary musicals were just so sweet and amazing voices, just really a lot of fun. But I also want to note that tomorrow is another night out for music. The middle school concert is tomorrow night, so if you can find your way there, I'm sure the children will appreciate that. I sent you an article that was forwarded to me by Brian in terms of the Conval lawsuit. I have to say that Foster's has been doing a fantastic job covering it. It was a front page article yesterday that went on and on and on into the second page, and is an incredibly interesting process. And I want to thank Tom for showing up when I was doing my testimony, so I had somebody that wasn't going to throw darts at me. And I'm back on after the commissioner tomorrow, and I think that'll be, you know, my swan song in terms of testifying. But I hope that this judge, it's a judicial decision, finds in favor of the school systems. It doesn't mean a lot to Oyster River, but it means a lot to a lot of school systems in the state that don't have enough money to run their programs. And, you know, as I said in my testimony, for us, it would go from 10% of our budget to 20% of the budget. That sounds like a lot, but for some school systems, it's 80% of their budget or 70% of their budget. And without state subsidy, they're closing schools and eliminating programs and trying to stay true to New Hampshire law in terms of providing programming. So I will really want to give a shout out to the 19 school systems that decided to sue the state for the inadequacy of adequacy, and really commend Conval for taking the lead. Kim Saunders, the superintendent from Conval, was testifying for 3 straight days. The state was totally unmerciful with her and just pounded away and pounded away and pounded away. And she held her own. So very proud of her and all of the districts that decided to go forward.
Thank you. Business Administrator.
Good evening. Tonight I have the annual signing of the general assurances. They are required for participation in federal programs. You had it in your packet. Any questions?
Just if I can just add to that. So these used to be signed at the superintendent's office, and Commissioner Edelblut decided that he wanted to see the school boards approve them, thinking that it made a big difference in the lives of getting these general assurances signed. It really is a pro forma issue where the federal government wants to see the signature of the superintendent. The commissioner decided he wanted to see your signatures as well. So this is something that we've done every single year. It's critical to do because it impacts our grants and our accountability. And I would just ask that you move the question and sign the general assurances.
Tom?
I'll make a motion to authorize the board chair and the superintendent to sign the fiscal year '24 general assurances.
Do I have a second? Brian? Any additional questions, comments? All right. All in favor? 7 in favor and the student rep in favor. And so you'll be passing that around for us to sign, is
It's
that?
just you and Jim.
Oh,
so
okay.
I can just bring it up after the meeting.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
fine. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Student rep report.
Yeah, I'll be kind of combining what I say with what Ms. Noe would have said. So we had our community dinner on Thursday that I know I saw a lot of you there. It was pretty great. We had a lot of student groups tabling from the elementary school level to the high school. A lot of good food, nice weather, some nice music. So I just wanted to say I thought that was really well put together and I enjoyed it. On Monday, we took the youth risk behavior survey in school during advisory, and I just wanted to mention that that was on paper, and last time it was on the computer, and I think that on paper works a lot better, just in terms of students trusting that it's anonymous. So I just wanted to say I really liked that change. Report cards came out on Monday, and then progress report cards will be out on May 12th. Underclassmen awards are going to be on May 11th, and if students are going to be receiving awards there, they'll hear about that and get an invitation over break. Senior week plans will be put out soon, if not by break, by the first week after break. And the application to run for the student school board rep position is out and on Schoology. I believe it's in Bobcat Corner, so I'll also just be there to help facilitate that process and just let the new candidates know what they're in for and how things go and everything like that.
Paige, what do you plan on as your last meeting?
Sorry?
When do you plan to visit us for the last time?
You know what, I haven't decided that yet.
Okay,
I'll
will
have
you
to
make
take a
sure
look.
we know?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Well, hopefully you'll put a good word in for us that we're not too scary. So thank you very much.
Other than that.
Okay. No finance committee report. And next up then is unanimous consent. Does anyone want to pull any of these items from unanimous consent? Okay. In that case, I'd like to move as a block the nomination of the SAU Human Resources Coordinator, the nomination of the District School Nutrition Director, nomination of the Oyster River High School Assistant Student Services Director, and the District Flex Nurse, and also the District Flex Nurse resignation. Do I have a second? Heather? All in favor? And we have 7 in favor and the student rep in favor. Okay, next up for discussion, I'll go ahead and do this scholarship first so that I do not forget it. And I'll just read, the superintendent of schools is authorized to create the trust fund noted below in cooperation with the town of Durham trustees of the trust funds in the name and on behalf of the Oyster River Cooperative School District. The superintendent is authorized to file any forms or documents required in connection with the creation of said trust fund and to take all other lawful actions necessary to ensure that funds associated with this trust fund are expended only for their intended purpose. And it's called My Pathway Trust. And that's all the information I have. I don't know if there's anything that you'd like to add about it, Dr. Morse?
No, this is, again, one of those things that we have to do annually, and so we just need your authorization for me to do this work.
Okay, could I have a motion? Gianna?
I motion to, I'm say these things, approve the scholarship thing.
Okay, and do I have a second? Tom? Okay, any discussion? All right, all in favor? 7 in favor, a student rep in favor. We do all need to sign this, so maybe we could start at that end and pass it down for folks' signature. It looks like we all need to sign.
Sue, there's no order to the signatures in this case, and I signed it as well? I do not sign it, okay.
Thank you. Okay, next up is the committee assignments. So you all received in your backup the proposed committee assignments. Could I have a motion to accept the committee assignments as proposed? Heather? Can I have a second? Matt? Any discussion? All right. All right, in that case, all in favor? And we have 7 in favor and the student rep in favor. Also, it was listed on this list, but also listed separately on our agenda, is that we do need 2 board members for manifest review between now and September. And I believe Matt is willing to continue on that. However, I'd like to step down for the next 6 months. So is there someone who would be willing to do manifest? Not all jump at once. Tom? All right, awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, great. All right. Do we have any committee updates? I will say that policy committee met last week, but those policies will go before the board at our next regular meeting. So, all right, public comments. I don't even know if we did the 30, I guess we barely did the 30 minutes, and now it's time for public comments again. All right, seeing none. We have our closing actions. We have our future meeting dates. May 3rd, that will be at Mohammed, and that one is also going to be a shorter meeting because we have NESDEC coming to present the superintendent search process, or to discuss the superintendent search process with us. And then we have our regular meeting on May 17th. We don't need no non-public or a we already had our non-meeting. So with that, yes, Heather.
I motion to adjourn.
All right, and a second? Gianna? All right, all in favor? 7 in favor and the student rep in favor. That might be the shortest meeting ever on record. Thank you, everybody.